The universe includes whole of existing space around the Earth and all heavenly bodies contained within it. It means the universe includes the Earth and all the heavenly bodies like stars, planets, satellites, and several other celestial bodies, heavenly bodies, that we see in the sky. The science of observation and study of composition, behavior, and other information about stars, planets, moons, asteroids is called astronomy. Life is possible on Earth due to special conditions, that is, presence of water, oxygen, minerals in soils, and large amount of energy from the sun. Spinning or rotation of the Earth around its axis causes day and night. Revolution of the Earth around Sun causes change of weather. The night sky. In daytime, only sun is visible in the sky. As soon as the sun sets, sky appears full of twinkling stars. The twinkling takes place due to atmosphere of the Earth on clear night. There are billions of stars in the universe which are not uniformly distributed. These occur in the form of huge bunches or clusters. Such a group of stars is called a galaxy. The Sun, the Earth, and other planets and all the stars that we see in the sky belong to a galaxy called Milky Way. It is also called Akash Ganga. It is assumed that there are some 10 raised to power 11 galaxies in the universe and each galaxy contains 10 raised to power 11 stars in it. Stars. Stars are heavenly bodies that are extremely hot and emit light. They consist of very large quantities of gases, mostly hydrogen and helium. The light radiated by the stars makes them visible or shine. Stars are very big heavenly bodies. They are much larger than Earth. Some are even larger than Sun. They appear small and dim because they are very far away from us. The color of star depends upon its temperature. Most of stars are so far away from Earth that light from them takes millions of years to reach us. The distance of stars is therefore expressed in terms of light years. 1 light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. The speed of light is about 3 lakh km per second. Therefore, 1 light year is equals to distance traveled by light in 1 year equals to distance traveled by light in 1 second into number of seconds in 1 year equals to 3 lakh into 365 into 24 into 60 into 60 kilometer equals to 94600000000 kilometer equals to 9.46 into 10 raised to power 12 kilometer. Thus, 1 light year is equal to nearly 10 million kilometers. The time taken by sunlight to reach Earth is 8.3 minutes. The astronomical unit parallactic second or parsec, 1 parsec is equals to 3.26 light years, are used to measure the distance of stars and galaxies. Constellations. Recognizable shape formed by group of stars are called constellations. These were named by the ancient people relating to animals or human beings. All constellations revolve around the pole star, which remains fixed in the north. All stars in a constellation stay together. As you know, Earth rotates on its own axis from west to east. It appears that constellations are moving in the sky from east to west. We can easily identify some constellation with naked eye. The differences between galaxy and constellation. Galaxy. 1. A galaxy is a cluster of billions of stars. 2. Shape of a galaxy does not resemble a recognizable shape or pattern. 3. There are billions of galaxies in the sky. Constellation. 1. Number of stars in a constellation is limited. 2. Shape of constellation resembles a recognizable shape or pattern, that of an animal or object. 3. There are only 88 constellations in the sky. As you know, our ancestors named these constellations after familiar objects which they seem to resemble. Some important constellations are described below. 1. Ursa Major, Saptarishi. Ursa Major constellation consists of 7 bright stars. These 7 stars are arranged in the form of a dipper. Ursa Major is also called Great Bear. Ursa Major can be clearly seen in the month of April. 2. Ursa Minor, Laghu Saptarishi. This constellation is also known as Little Bear. Stars in this constellation are similar to Ursa Major. The stars are arranged very close to each other, hence the size of constellation is smaller than Ursa Major. Constellation can be seen in the month of July. 3. Orion, Kalpurush. It is a large and brilliant constellation and is visible in both the hemispheres in winter. It contains 7 very bright stars. 4. Scorpio. It is a large constellation of the southern hemisphere containing star clusters that resemble a scorpion with tail. This constellation is seen during summer. Some of important constellations are Cancer, Chitra, Leo, Pisces, Ashwini. The Moon. The only natural satellite of the Earth is the Moon. Next to the Sun, it is the brightest object in the sky. Comparing to other heavenly bodies, Moon is nearest to Earth. It is about 1/4 of the Earth's size. Its gravitational pull is 1/6 that of the Earth. It has no air or water to sustain life. Its surface is covered with dirt, craters, and mountains. On Moon, days are very hot while the nights are very cold. Moon does not have light of its own. It reflects a part of light of the Sun falling on it. The Moon is the only heavenly body where human beings have landed. New Moon, Crescent, Half Moon, Gibbous, Full Moon, Gibbous, Half Moon, Crescent. Man first landed on Moon when American astronaut Neil Armstrong set foot on it on July 20, 1969. Phases of Moon. The Moon appears to change its shape every night. Moon does not have light of its own. It just reflects light of Sun falling on it. On full moon day, we see whole disk of the Moon. The shape and the size of a bright part of the Moon changes every day. On new moon day, the Moon is not visible. From here, the visible area of the sunlight portion increases and Moon is said to be growing or waxing when the visible sunlight from full moon day begins to reduce with each day. The Moon at this phase is said to be waning. In 29.5 days, Moon completes one revolution. Solar System. Sun, planets, other celestial bodies. Planets, internal planets, external planets. Internal planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. External planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Other celestial bodies. Asteroids, comets, meteors, satellites. The Sun. The Sun is the head of solar family. All the planets revolve around it. About 3/4 of the Sun is hydrogen and 1/4 helium. It also contains small amount of oxygen, carbon, neon, nitrogen, magnesium and iron. Sun is also a star. It appears bigger and brighter because it is much nearer to Earth than the other stars. The planets. The planets are solid heavenly bodies which revolve around the Sun in fixed path called orbit. Each planet rotates on its axis. At night, we observe certain objects bigger and brighter than stars. They do not twinkle as stars. They are planets. Unlike Sun and other stars, planets do not have light of their own. They appear bright because light from the Sun falls on them. The 8 planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Earlier in 1930, the Pluto was classified as 9th and smallest planet, but in 2006, it was given a new definition as dwarf planet. Different planets have different sizes. Mercury is the smallest planet and Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system. Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter and Saturn are the planets which can be seen with the naked eyes from the Earth. Different planets take different time to complete one revolution around the Sun. Mercury takes 88 days, Earth takes 365 1/4 days, and Pluto takes 248 days to complete one revolution around the Sun. Mercury. This planet is closest to the Sun and also the fastest and the smallest of all the planets. It is always present on the same side of the Sun. That's why its one part always has day and is hottest. Other part always has night and is the coldest. As it is very near to the Earth, we can see it just before sunrise and just after the sunset. It is yellowish-orange in color. Venus. It is the brightest of all planets. It is the brightest object seen in the night sky. It is also called as shining planet. It is silver blue in color and is hot planet. It appears as a morning star in eastern horizon and as evening star in western horizon, but we can never see it late in the night. There is no evidence of life on Venus. It completes its revolution around the Sun in 225 days. Earth. Earth is the fifth in size among the planets of solar system. Earth's atmosphere allows only a part of heat and light to reach its surface. That's why Earth's surface is neither too hot nor too cold. Earth also has plenty of water and an oxygen-rich atmosphere which is necessary for life. Ozone layer in the Earth atmosphere absorbs the harmful radiations coming from the Sun and protects life on the Earth. Mars. Mars is the fourth planet in distance from the Sun. Mars is nearly half the size of the Earth. A large amount of iron oxide is present in the planet which gives reddish color to the planet. Therefore, it is known as red planet. Mars has craters like Moon. Mars has 2 moons. Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. It is very far from the Sun, about 778 million kilometers, so it receives much less light and heat from the Sun. Jupiter is a giant ball of gas. Its surface is composed of dense red, brown, yellow and white clouds of hydrogen and helium gases. The most distinguishing feature of the Jupiter is Great Red Spot. Jupiter has 39 moons, natural satellites and faint ring around it. Saturn. Saturn is second biggest planet in the solar system. Saturn is similar in size, mass and composition to the Jupiter, but it is cooler than the Jupiter. It is about 700 times bigger than the Earth. Saturn has the most visible and beautiful 7 rings that encircle the planet. The rings are made up of ice particles that travel around the planet. Saturn is a giant ball of gas with no solid surface. It has about 30 moons. Uranus. This is third largest planet in the solar system. Its diameter is less than half of the Earth. Uranus is a giant ball of gas and liquid made up of hydrogen and methane gas, which give it a greenish appearance when seen through a telescope. Its 21 moons have been discovered so far. Neptune. Neptune is the 8th planet from the Sun. Neptune also has several rings of ice particles around it. Neptune consists of helium and hydrogen. It is surrounded by a thick layer of clouds. The outer layer of Neptune contains large amount of methane which absorb red light, giving Neptune deep blue color. Neptune has 8 moons. Pluto, dwarf planet. According to a new definition, dwarf planets could not be considered as planet, but some astronomists do not agree to it. Pluto is farthest dwarf planet of the solar system as well as the smallest. It takes 248 Earth days to orbit it. Pluto is the darkest and the coldest dwarf planet. The orbit of the Pluto cuts through the orbit of Neptune. It is due to this reason that Pluto is closer to the Earth than Neptune. Pluto has only 1 moon. Other celestial bodies. Asteroids. Asteroids are a large number of small rocky bodies of about 1000 km or less diameter which orbit around the Sun between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter. There are nearly 1 lakh asteroids. Meteors and meteoroids. Meteors are the heavenly bodies consisting of small pieces of stones and metallic rocks. Meteoroids travel at high speeds. When meteoroids enter the Earth's atmosphere, They get heated up due to air friction. Most of these burn up upon entering the Earth's atmosphere and appear as a streak of light in the sky. We call them as shooting stars or falling stars. These fragments of asteroids containing chunks of stony or metallic matter are known as meteors or meteoroids. Comets. Comets are balls of frozen gases, dust particles and rocks that follow a regular orbit around the Sun. When a comet approaches the Sun, it may develop a long tail. The tail of a comet always points away from the Sun. The tail becomes longer as the comet comes closer to the Sun. When comet enters into Earth's atmosphere, it burns due to heat and friction in air. A burning comet produces shower meteors or shooting stars. Artificial satellites. Artificial satellites are man-made satellites which move around the Earth. An artificial satellite is a man-made machine that continuously orbits around a heavenly body for the purpose of scientific investigation. Satellites are launched into space by rockets and space shuttle. A satellite remains in orbit because of a balance between the Earth's gravity and satellite's velocity. Artificial satellite has affected our lives in many ways. It has made possible long-distance transmission of TV programs. It has made possible internet and telephone. These satellites are also used for remote sensing, spying, defense, and research. We can collect information about weather, agriculture, land, and ocean. Indian satellite. Indian Space Research Organization (ISRO) is in charge of Indian satellites. The first satellite made in India, Aryabhatta, was launched in 1975 by a Soviet rocket. India now has the capability of launching its own satellites. On October 22, 2008, India launched Chandrayaan-1 from Sriharikota. This historic moment of Indian space will be written in golden letters.